Corner Boxing. We're in the game.
We're in the game, yes. Welcome to Red Corner Boxing. My name's Mr. Neutral, and I'm here with Tony Jas, rising Dutch star of boxing. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I hope you're all well this week. After your victory a couple of weeks ago there, great performance. We'll get that into a bit, Tony. But first of all, I must announce that we are sponsored by EasyStories.com for all your local nationwide needs, and of course, Boxing Fight Zone, merchandise and boxing apparel. Check them out. The links are all in the bio. Right, Tony. So for the fans here in the UK, you're a Dutch boxer. You've got, I believe your record in professional boxing is 6-0 with 5 knockouts. But can you correct us if we're wrong on that?
Yes, it was 7-0, but one fight like on a different organization, so it's not on a box track. So the official record is 6-0 and 5
Right,
knockouts.
I'm with you. Nevertheless, Tony, it has to be said, your last 3 performances have been quite striking, in more ways than one. But first, let's go back. Because you've been in combat for years now. You're only a young guy, but you've been at combat sport for some serious young age. So give the fans here just a little bit of, an idea where you first started.
Yes, I first started when I was 2 years old. My dad was always he enjoyed fighting. So when I was 2 years old, he was already standing hands high. And when I was 8, I was on kickboxing. And in 3 months, I did my first fight. And I see all the world. We've been to Bangkok. We see all the countries in Europe. So the story begins on a very young age.
It certainly does. I mean, and also you've documented your story at a very young age. I watched one of your videos when you was doing, I think it was kickboxing. And what struck me about you, and it's a vicious combat sport, Muay Thai, and then you path on to kickboxing. And what struck me was your absolute love for the sport. You kept repeating it, and is that been instilled in you from 2 years of age? And how your father, has engaged you in combat sports.
Yeah, I think it's in love. When the first time when I hit the gym, I really loved the feeling of fighting, and I never stopped loving it. I'm 26, and I still enjoy every moment. So I'm
You
born for,
certainly do.
I'm born for this shit.
This is what I mean. We'll get into that. I've got to welcome our guests who are watching in the audience. We've got LFC, You Never Walk Alone. Just watched Tony Yasmin in Rotterdam at the weekend. Fire. Håkan Ringside Live. He's a big fan of yours from Sweden. Good evening, Mr. Neutral and Tony Jas, and congratulations on your second round knockout win in Rotterdam. Glory Kickboxer says LFC NYWA. Big up Neutral and Tony Jas. Now, as we were mentioning, Tony, you got that love for the sport. You hit the gym. You're a serious trainer. I've seen that as well. Twice a day. And some of your routines are brutal, and I get that from probably your Muay Thai days and kickboxing. How easy was it to transition into boxing as an amateur?
Yes, I began when I was 12 years old. Then was my first boxing match. Then I combined it for like 6 years, and it was like everybody asked me, "Don't you want to kick?" But no, it was for me 2 different sports, and I also love boxing. So the switch was uh, very easy. It flows a lot water.
Yes. Was it an easy decision to make with your family to move over to boxing?
No, it was not that easy, but I was looking. I got to fight on Glory, it's the biggest kickboxing organization of the world, and I didn't get much money. And I was thinking like, boxing is also my passion. I love it when you see the 12 round fights. that have really a story. And I was thinking, yeah, I think I'm the best of the world, the best talent there is in both worlds. Yeah, I need to do something that when I'm 35, living my life, and I think yes, I have some legacy. I built some money for my kids and family. So I think that's the reason why I stick only to boxing now.
Yeah, fabulous. And how did three rounders differ from when you first went to professional? Because when I watched your style, you strike me as a uh, forward moving, hard hitting, beat them down style until you connect properly and they go down. Sometimes I get the feeling that 3 rounds wasn't enough for you, and that wasn't a true reflection on your true self in the ring. Now, since you've become professional, you have struck the boxing world, especially in your own country, and you're a huge rising star. We saw you on that big card there. Jams will put that up now in Rotterdam. There you are, that Gladys Kraus event there. And it was a great card, it has to be said. Now, we run a prediction league here, Tony, and we included that whole card on our league. And it was pretty easy for me to predict a second round knockout for you, young man, because you've been averaging second round knockouts in all your fights. 2 first rounds, two thirds and a second. And I just thought, well, that's an easy second round knockout. And you delivered in style. And all the fans there and all the guys and they're like, oh, brilliant. How did he do that? But look, I want to go back to the Dominguez fight. That was for me a real destruction job on your part. Can you tell me what elements is been added to your game since your first fight to that Dominguez fight? Because you seem to be an extra element in your game, especially mentality wise.
Yeah, I think like when you do in the pro game, first you need to little bit get used to the game. And normally you fight in 3 rounds. Now you must prepare for 6 rounds. But step by step, I feel more confidence. Now you see the big knockouts. So in the Dominguez fight, when I was there, I felt so good. And the guy had a good record, like 22 and
Yeah.
8, like 21 on knockout. So it was like
Mm.
for me showcase. I need to show the world that I am who I think I am, and I think I did it in that fight.
Now, who were your, I mean, got a question from Håkan in the chat. Who were your influences and idol fighters growing up?
Yeah, I watch all boxing. I watch every fighter. I love Floyd Mayweather. Like he's very technical, but I also see Julio Cesar Chavez, like the Will Warrior, Roberto Duran, but also Tommy Hearns. I love boxing, so I love the game, like the street science and the warrior
Uh,
side of.
Absolutely, because some of them left hooks to the body you were throwing against the Dominguez were nasty. It seemed to me that as you're getting through these fights, you're getting punching harder and harder. Now, you're a very personable young man on camera and all of that. And your ring walks very good, by the way. You got your own music. You got a certain swag in there. There's an element of danger about you when you enter the ring, and you've got that confidence. You go around the ring, you make that ring. You're tapping gloves when you're going around. How important is it to you to bring that, um, you know, character of yourself to the media?
It's not that important, but it is. I love it. When I talk about boxing, when I go to the venue, when I have to ring walk, it's the best feeling. The adrenaline is kicking in the body. You feel like unstoppable. Like Mike Tyson once said, every step you feel more confidence. Once you are in the ring, you feel God. And it's a little bit like the same. When I'm there, I think, but when I walk to the ring, I feel like this is my moment, and nothing can stop me.
Unstoppable is a great word that you used there, because even the referee had to throw you back from your opponent because you got that killer instinct, and that is what I love. Now, uh, you beat Steve Sutton, who was a replacement in for you. How frustrating is it in boxing when you think you've got one opponent and then suddenly something happens, and the team and all the rest of you have to rally around and find a replacement. But you did in Steve Sutton, who's quite a very good boxer, by the way. His record suggests he's not no mug. He's not easy to beat. So it must have been pleasing for you to have got that one out the way in Rotterdam.
Yes, exactly. Because before this fight, when I was 1 week before we announced that I was fighting Steve Suppan, all the boxing experts in the Netherlands say, "Oh, it's gonna be your first big test. Now we're gonna see." And it was just as easy as my other fights, so it was nice. I get some like DMs, and people say, "Oh, you're gonna be a hard fight." I say it's gonna be just as easy, and it was just as easy. So it was good for my confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and a destructive win at that. So we look forward to your next out. You've been very busy in 2025. Six fights. Are you looking to get back out before the end of 25, or is it going to be sometime in January?
Yes, now I have a fight 7th February on
So,
also big card in the Netherlands, like Nicky Olsgun is gonna fight there, and a lot of good Dutch fighters. And I'm in talking stage with America, so they're also interested to manage me. So there are a lot going, but we're gonna see the way.
absolutely. As one of the guys in the chat has said, has Tony got his eye on anyone in the UK he'd like to fight either now or down the road, meaning in the future? Is the UK a destination that you would love to showcase your talents?
Of course, and when you see the stadiums with the big fights, like the UK supporters, they are really love boxing. So for sure, I want to fight there also one day and showcase who I am.
Absolutely. Now, is Gradus Kraus a good friend of yours? Do you get along?
Yeah, we can. We have like three years. We were on the national team in the amateur boxing, so we go to do a lot of trips together. So we are good together.
Excellent, because I see you two as flag bearers for the Dutch. A nation not known usually, for potential champions of the future. The hopes carry on your shoulders for your nation. Do you take that into account when you're progressing, and as you go up, that you want to bring the titles home to Holland?
For sure, there was only one guy in the history who was world champion, Regilio Tour. So for sure, the pressure to make the country great, to be in like a hero here, yes, that's what drives me every day. And I think we have a good generation with a very good talent. So I think the Dutch boxing gonna be a problem for the rest of the world. I really believe that.
Excellent, excellent. Now, when you're in a fight, and as we got a picture of you wrapping your hands, uh, what's going through your mind at this point? Give the fans an idea of the what the mental side of things is. This is happening on the, for you. You getting your hands wrapped, and are you preparing yourself for battle?
Yes, I try to be as relaxed as possible. For sure, there can be negative thoughts from, am I ready? What gonna happen? Because this is a good guy. But then I think about it, and my dad always say to me, Tony, when you think about me, relax. It's your day, and just enjoy the moment. Because when I enjoy boxing, when I'm laughing, when I'm dancing, then I'm the most dangerous, Tony. So I try to be as relaxed as possible.
Right. So when we see Tony Jas smiling and dancing, we know your
You are
opponent
big, big
is
boss,
in trouble. He's in trouble. You
big boss.
know. Now, how are you? You're a grown young man. How are you able to still carry your weight? Are you making weight quite well?
Yes, it's you need to be professional. So you have a good team around me. I have a dietist, I have strength trainer, condition trainers. So I really see this as a business. I'm a multi-million business. I'm not there yet, but I believe I'm the millions worth. So I need to do everything the right way. Like you're beginning a business and you need to do every step right to go to the big money. And so that's how I see boxing. Everything I do professional. It's
Excellent. So you identify the levels that you have to conquer as you go along and not overstep the mark. Who controls your logistics? The the stuff that you haven't got time to think about. Have you got a good team? They're doing your promotional work, and who controls the narrative?
yes, I have now my uncle. He is helping me. If like in the house mark, he is there. And I told him, "Can you help me with the finance, with the boxing?" And the first time he did it was my pro fight, and now he helping me a lot with the sponsors, with my trips to do, and I'm really thankful to him. So without him, it was to be. I wasn't where I am now. So I'm happy with the team.
Good, excellent, and it helps when close family can help with that ambition. Now, where do you want to be this time next year?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Yes, for sure, I want to be world champion, but you have to be realistic because the boxing game is a political game. It's not that easy. But I'm in a good go talking stage with America, with the big manager there, and he's really interested to make my way to the top, and I will see. I try to be a star in the Netherlands because then I have also the Netherlands market who I can bring to the UK or to America. So yeah, it's all business. I'm thinking to make the right moves because I'm 26. It is young, but not that young. Time flies, so I need to do
Yes.
everything correctly now.
Well, yes, and it's no surprise that America are looking at you, Tony. And as Hakan says, GBM Sports and Easy Azif should bring you to the UK to after your impressive win in Rotterdam, Red Corner Boxing 99 degrees. And GBM should get you over to Britain, says LFC. You'll never walk alone. Now, as I said, little surprise because you're very good to watch. You're very good to break down. Because for me, you're quite imposing in the ring, and then what I mean by that is, the way you bear down on your opponents. I've never seen you not being on the front foot, and that is you got to applaud that. But it's the way you come behind it. You actually are imposing your will onto your opponents, and that's what I love about you. And I look forward to that. That equal imposition on your opponents, because I can imagine. I'm looking at Dominguez and that. He was totally overawed by the end of the first round. He should have gone in the first, but you had him. In the second, it was inevitable, and I can see you bringing that game as you go up the level. So keep up the good work, mate, because I'm very impressed. And if Mr. Neutral's impressed, other people will be watching you. That is for certain. And we cannot wait for you. Wait for you to come over to the UK. Make sure you drop me a line at Red Corner and tell us when you are, because we will come and support. But you said you want to you dominate the Netherlands first. That's very important because you must have your national support behind you when you go to places like America or Great Britain or even Riyadh and all the rest of it. So I totally get that, and that you have to dominate domestically at home, nationally first. So good luck with that. Have you got a final message to not only the Dutch fans that may be watching, but the UK fans? What message have you got for us over here? And lay it down, brother.
If you never heard about Tony Jas, this is the first time. Follow me because I'm gonna be the next world champ. Believe me, I manifest it and I think about it every day and I'm gonna make it. So when you want to see a real talent, I am here.
That's the one. That's the one. Now, Tony Jas, thanks very much for coming to us here in Red Corner Boxing. There you are, proper showman as well. You look the part, and you've been on camera for many, many years, and that's only a plus when you're coming into this program. Because I believe, Tony, that the full package of talent, character, and ambition that you have will take you far, young man. And we wish you all the very best here at Red Corner. So before we go, I have to announce this program once again is sponsored by EasyStorage.com for all your local nationwide needs, and of course Boxing Fight Zone for your boxing apparel. The links are in the bio of Red Corner Boxing here. And once again, thanks to everybody in the chat who's been watching, leaving messages for Tony. Wishing you good luck, mate, because we do. You big fans here now, and we can't wait for February, mate. And yeah, we'll be watching. Tony Jas,
Keep in contact.
thank you very much, mate.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Yes.
Take care, Ed.
I'm moving. I'm going. I can't stop. I got motion. I'm moving. I'm going.